What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. I hope you're all keeping well. Now, I have a new workbench. It has just arrived. I haven't unboxed it and I haven't seen it yet. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to unbox this, I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to give you guys my first impressions. I'm also going to explain why I went down this route of buying a workbench and not building my own. And I also have to get rid of my existing workbench and take this apart. So, that's what this video is going to be about. Without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, first off, let's talk about my existing workbench and why this is going. Well, you guys who followed my channel over the years will know all about this workbench. Essentially, it's a mismatch of two existing workbenches that I had. So I had originally built a hand tool woodworking bench from 4x2s, and that served me really well over the years. I also built an assembly table / MFT table as a separate workbench. And because I wanted more space in my workshop, I decided to mash the two of those together to create a hybrid workbench, to try this one out for a while, to see how it works and if I wanted to go down this route. Now, as I discovered, I am using my MFT table less and less, and it's just this small portion of the hand tool section that I use on this workbench now. I had my router table in this end, but that's now been moved over to my table saw, so I no longer need that section of the workbench. So in planning whether to build or buy, that was factored into my decision. So the fact that I no longer, well, it's not that I no longer use it, but I use it less frequency, the MFT table, I didn't need a workbench with an MFT table in it. So that's why I'm not going to go down the hybrid route. I'm going to get a mobile MFT table in the future, one that I can fold away and take out as needed. And what I really wanted was a hand tool woodworking bench. Now, the one I've bought, I'll show you now in a second. I've bought it because it is on sale at the minute. It's for an unbelievable price. I paid for this now. This is not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. I bought it from Sjobergs shop in Germany. It's half the price of what I can buy it anywhere else for. And because it's now on sale as well, it made more sense to buy this because I could not build one to this quality for the same price and to have all these specs in it. So hopefully it turns out to be a good workbench. So that's why I've bought it. Now, without further ado, let me get this thing all disassembled and try and find space for everything that's stored in it. Okay, so I'm going to start pulling all this stuff apart and finding a place to put it. Now, it does mean by the end of this build, I'm going to have lots of stuff left over that is surplus to requirement from my bench. So I'm going to try and give all this stuff away or donate it to somebody who needs it. So that is my plan. I will come up with an idea later. We might not do it in this video, but coming soon, I have a load of vices, tail vices, router fences, all stuff that's been sent to me that I would like to give away and give something back to you guys, or find a good place to donate it all to. So without further ado, let's get this thing pulled apart. Okay, there we go. The workbench is disassembled and my workshop is in absolute chaos. So there's stuff everywhere now. Whole pile of 4x2s, construction lumber there that I have to try and get rid of. But things always get worse before they get better when you're rearranging the workshop. Now that's kind of an end of an era. So the last of the workbench that I started out my YouTube channel on many years ago is now going to be gone. So I started out in my garden shed making guitars. And I was actually just reminded by YouTube of my very first video there the other day. So I'll show you guys a clip of it. You can see how it all started out. Now, let's get making this workbench. I will show you guys what I purchased. Okay, so in this box is the Sjobergs. Somebody in the comments let me know how to pronounce that. This is the workbench. This is the Elite 2000, so it's the professional workbench made from solid beech. Weighs an absolute ton, so this all together I think was 195 kilos on the pallet. So it's pretty substantial. Now I've bought the leg kit for it as well to raise it up a bit, because I think it's around 900mm standard height. I need it to be a metre because I'm tall and I need my workbench to be a bit taller, so that will raise it up. I've also got the cabinet to go into it as well with all the drawers and stuff, so we'll assemble all that. So without further ado, I have some clamps here as well, and I also have some cork things for the jaws for the vices. So we will be putting them on as well. So let's get this assembled. I'll show you guys how to put it together, and I'll give you my first impressions of it. I have not seen this yet now, so I am hoping it is going to be good. Oh, and yeah, it took an impact to both corners. As you can see, I'll roll into some footage there. So I'm hoping, yeah, it's not damaged. Okay, let's get the main box open. And see what we're dealing with. Okay, there we go. This is my first time seeing it. Oh, they're pretty substantial. Like I said, everything is made from solid beech. So let me unpack this. I get all this up there and we start putting it together. I may need a lift with this top because I think it's about 100 kilos. And yeah, I'm not fancying trying to muscle this on my own. I'll try, but I might have to get help. Okay, the frame is pretty straightforward. Two leg frames essentially. We have 4 stretchers, and I bought the 2 leg extensions. So that gives me an extra 100mm or 4 inches. Raises the workbench up. So I'm going to have to bolt them on first. If you're buying this kit and you don't have them, you don't have to do this step. So straightforward. It's a couple of bolts and 4 hinge kits. Okay, bolt on these legs. Okay, so you can see how the leg extensions work. Pretty simple, just a bolt straight through the whole lot. You're essentially adding just another foot onto the end of it. So that's an extra 4 inches or 100mm. Now, they're pre-drilled for hinges. So I suppose you can fold these up, pull the bolt up, you can fold it up and drop it down. I suppose the whole point of that is, if somebody else was using the workbench that's not as tall as you, you can just fold these feet up. Now, I'm never going to be doing that, but it'll also stop the legs from twisting. Okay, here we go. Legs prepared. Okay, to attach the stretchers, it's dowels and bolts. So I'm just going to put it together with the dowels first, and then we can just throw the bolts in, make it nice and easy. Okay, I think these are all pretty much identical. I have to say, so far, I am pretty impressed with the build quality. They are meaty frames on those legs and they are pretty heavy. So that bodes well. Just make sure we keep this the right orientation now. Okay, I got the bolts in the top side. Okay, so it's just a bolt and then one of these kind of captive nuts, I suppose they're called. Just like that. So we have 4 of those to get in the top. Now the nice thing about these is if there's any wood movement, expansion or shrinkage, you can always cinch up your bolts again. Which is one good thing about this type of construction. Lovely, 4 bolts in this side. That's the frame done. Okay, hey presto, nice and simple. You have to hand it to the Swedes, they are the master of the flat pack. Okay, I am going to attempt to move this. I can tell you guys, it is seriously heavy. Oh God, right. I might be able to push it on the cardboard. Feel like I'm back in my rugby playing days. Okay, I'm going to try and attempt to work this on without ever having to lift its full weight. I'm going to try and walk it onto it. We'll give it one go. If not, I will have to get help. Oh God, that is heavy. I wonder. Nope, I'm not going to attempt that. It is over 100 kilos and I'll either do damage to the bench or to myself. I'm going to have to get help with this. You lift your end first and just get settled, and then I'll get mine. Ready? Go! That's it! Lovely. Right, just got to locate it on the dowels then. So, I think it needs to go to you a bit, Rich. Is it? Where's the dowel hole?
I see. Is this the dowel hole right here?
Oh, that's it there, yeah.
Let's go to you then.
Oh, lovely. Gentlemen. I'd never have lifted that on my own. Yeah, thank you very much.
Sjobergs.
Yeah, it's a fine bench.
It is.
Rock solid, boy. Okay guys, there we go. Bench assembled. You get by with a little help from your friends. I would never have lifted that on my own. It is super heavy. So it is an absolutely solid lump of a workbench, and I am more than impressed with it so far. Now I'll go through all the specs and stuff when I have everything built, and I'll give you guys a quick run through of how everything works. But so far so good. Now, I haven't used any glue in the assembly. I've just bolted it together, just in case I ever want to take it back apart again. If I need to move it for whatever reason, I can do that. So the dowels are only for locating really. So yeah, let's get the cabinet built now, and we'll get all the accessories on it, and we'll see it in operation. Okay, here's the cabinet. You can see how it comes. It comes essentially flat pack again. Solid beech for all the drawers. Birch ply, it looks like, for all the cabinet. So it's good quality stuff. Now, again, like, it's essentially flat pack. So I'll start screwing this together. Shouldn't be too much to it. Okay, first job, drawer runners. Okay, all the runners are on. It's just time to assemble the cabinet. You will need a H3 hex head for these particular screws. So number 3 Allen key or hex head. Again, this is all pre-drilled. Okay, first mistake, I mixed those two pieces up, but we have them in the correct orientation now. Easy mistake to make. Okay, the cabinet is assembled. A little bit fidgety, not too bad. A little bit of work getting the back panel in, and had a slight problem aligning these screws, but that's more me than the actual thing itself. So there we go. We'll slip that underneath now. There you guys, I'm just shoving this in. Now it is a very tight fit, so I've had to loosen the bolts on either end. Let's just say it's a perfect fit. So you just need to work it in there. So there we go. A little bit hard to film when you're on your own to try and catch it all, but that's it sitting in there now. So it sits flush with the two runners, or the two stretchers I should say, front and back. So just make sure we're flush in the front and flush in the back. That's good. Now I can tighten the legs up. That'll hold it in place. So I might not need to take the top off. Okay guys, we're on to assembling the drawers. So these are nice and simple. It's just a few screws. Now, we are going between Torx and Phillips. It would be much better if they just provided all the screws with one head, so that you could use one driver for the whole lot. So far we have a H3, a Torx, we have a Phillips, we have everything. So that is a little bit annoying. So it's a small gripe, but you have to gripe about something, don't you? So it's two Torx to the back to put the sides and the back on. Again, these are all pre-drilled, pre-tapped, but I have noticed you have to leave them loose in order to get the drawer base in, because the grooves or the dados aren't perfectly aligned. So don't cinch them up, and just get that to sit in when everything is kind of loose, because it is a bit fidgety. And once it's in, then just tighten it up. The drawer front then is just dowels. Again, I'm not going to glue these, just in case I ever want to take this back apart again. So nice and simple dowels. And then we have these screws back to a Phillips again. You know, the ones that they're on all drawers, on all cabinets, on flat pack furniture. It's the head that you catch. You'll know what I'm talking about. Nice solid beech front on them, and then all we got to do is just put the two clips to catch the head of those screws. You know them fellas. I'm sure there's a name on them, but I don't know it. There we go, and then it's just put on the handle, and they come with nice handles. Again, back to a Torx for the screws for the handles. A little bit annoying. But at least everything is pre-drilled. Okay, one complete drawer. I'll get on and make the rest of these then, and we'll get them into the cabinet. Right guys, all the drawers are in place and they are running nicely. Now, slight little gripe, it's only a small gripe again. The fitment is not great, so there is gaps that I can see on top of the drawer there. The drawer actually hits, you can hear it, it hits the back of the cabinet before it actually sits flush. So they could actually make these drawers a little bit shorter, just so they sit in flush. There's a slight gap on top on both sides. Just need to adjust that door gap there, but that's easy to do with the hinges. So again, just in case door hinges, nothing special about them, and some nice soft close hinges as well. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty decent cabinet. Birch ply, all the birch ply is oiled. It has a finish on it. The birch itself, the actual solid birch doors and stuff, I'm not sure if they have a finish on it. They don't seem to. They might have a light oil finish on it. I think I will add some oil to that myself. But yeah, overall, not a bad cabinet. Plenty of storage in it. So other than a few gripes and the gaps in the drawers, it's not bad indeed. Okay, it's only time for the last few little bits then, and that's get the handles in place. Just like that. Okay, the last job to do then is to put on the cork for the vice jaws. Now, these are extra as well, so it's kind of a rubberized cork. They don't come with it. They really should, I think. They should provide these with the actual bench itself. So again, it's just a case of stick these on. They are essential, I think, just for protecting anything you're clamping in the vise. You won't mark a piece, and it's extra grippy as well. So that's the nice thing about the cork for the jaws of your vise. So I've given the surface a good wipe down. We'll just make sure we're getting that sitting in there perfect. Just like that. This stuff. It's always annoying when the backing paper doesn't come off cleanly. That's more than just a little annoying. Close that in and let the glue set up. Now I'll do the other one as well. Okay guys, there we go. There is my new workbench. As you can see, it's freed up a lot of space in the workshop, which is another reason why I went for this option. I have a lot more room between my bandsaw and my bench now, and I have a lot more room between my miter saw and my bench, and I've just a lot more room in general. So that's good. More space I can gain in this workshop, the better. So I would get a fold-away MFT table to use. I would get it the same height as this bench. So there you go. I'm pretty happy with it. My first initial impressions are pretty good. A few little gripes here and there, but I just quickly run through the specs of this bench with you now. I won't do a review because I haven't used it myself yet. I want to put it through its paces, and I will tell you, good, bad or indifferent, how this bench is holding up. But so far, it looks pretty promising. Okay, just a few things to talk about then. The top is a 4-inch top. It's a laminated top, but it's made from full lengths of beech, so it's a solid 4-inch beech top. Each of the laminates are tongue and grooved together, so they can't come apart, and it should stop any twisting motion or any warping in the bench to keep it perfectly flat. So you saw the weight of this thing. It took 2 of us to lift it on. I think the bench in total is about 160 kilos. And once you put that cabinet in and fill that cabinet full of tools as well, it's going to be a lot heavier. Now, let me give you a quick look at the vices. Okay, very quickly, just take a quick look at the vices. So these are the Sjobergs vices, obviously on the Sjobergs bench. You can actually buy these vices separately for building your own bench and bolt them on. I know Rob Cosman, he highly recommends them. So you can see they're square tube. So that's to prevent racking. Most vices will have a center screw and circular tubes either side, or circular bars. Circular bars can rack, these ones don't. They also have adjustment screws either side. There's actually rubber blocks either side of these, so you can tighten them or loosen them up depending on what you want. So you can actually stop them from racking altogether. If you didn't have those, if you clamped something on this side of the vise, obviously the vise would rack. You would have to put a spacer block on this side in order to catch it, just to stop obviously it going off at an angle, and then it's not catching this piece, it's pinching one corner of the piece. You can damage it, and it doesn't actually hold it as well. So that's a nice thing about these vices. This one and the tail vise are identical. Okay, so the bench does come with dogs. These are pretty heavy. These are solid steel dogs. So I think these are 20mm or 25mm holes. So yeah, they're good and tight. They will sit anywhere in the bench. They have a spring on the side. So the nice thing about this is you can clamp circular items between the 4 of those. So they're a good solid steel dog. Now I know some people don't like steel dogs because you can potentially hit them with your plane, but once you can keep them below your workpiece, it's never an issue. I've used brass dogs and steel dogs and all that stuff, and I've never once hit one. So there you go, 4 heavy duty, and they are pretty heavy duty steel dogs. Okay, here's another thing I ordered. This doesn't come with the bench, but these are Sjobergs again. So these are just the hold downs again. These are really meaty, really heavy duty. So they drop into the dog holes, and you can clamp anything to your work surface. And these will really lock things onto the bench. They are big solid pieces indeed. Now you also have dog holes in the legs, and the legs are perfectly flush with the actual bench top itself, which means you can clamp and work with stuff across the length of the bench too, which is nice. So if you're holding a door or anything like that, a long piece, you can hold it in the vise and you can put your dog there. So that's a nice feature. And the dog holes are actually on both sides. Okay guys, there is just one job that I want to do, and I'm going to add a little chamfer to the top of each of these dog holes. So you can see that they're very sharp edged. So I'm worrying about splitting out the grain. So I'm just going to put a little chamfered edge on them all, just for taking in and out those holdfasts, that nothing chips, and taking in and out the dogs as well. It's always a good idea just to have a little chamfered edge on it. So I'm going to run along and chamfer all these. Okay guys, there we go. All the holes are now chamfered, and that will just stop any chip out when you're taking in and out those dogs. Now, the workbench is the perfect height with those legs. So I have my perch stool here now, and it is the perfect height for working at this workbench. So I have a full build video on this if you have not seen it yet. They're ideal stools to go along with your workbench, because they keep your back nice and straight, and they're easy enough to get up and get off of. So yeah, don't forget to check that one out. So yeah, there you go guys, my new workbench. Right guys, there we go. My new workbench is all in place, and my initial impressions are I'm pretty impressed with it indeed. It's solid, it's really heavy, exactly what you need for a woodworking workbench. You don't want it walking across the floor when you're trying to plane. So I'm going to put this through its paces now over the next few weeks. You guys will see me make stuff on it, and maybe in a couple of months time I will do a full review on this. So I'll tell you what's working, tell you what's not working, what I like, what I don't like. I can't answer all those questions now because I haven't used it, but just my initial impressions are I'm very, very pleased with this top indeed. I'm happy with the size, the style, the functionality, all seems to be what I actually want in a workbench. So that's it guys. I'm going to get out of here now, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully, as always, you got something out of it. Thumbs up if you liked it. Comments, questions below. Anything you want to ask about this bench, just shoot them down in the comments section and I will get back to you if I can. So that's it guys. I'm going to get out of here now. I shall see you in the next video when hopefully we'll be making something nice on my new workbench.